Hello, Catamounts. My name is Alexander Hoffman, and this is Chats with Cats, presented by WeTV. By the way, this is Season 2. I forgot to mention that before, but it is Season 2. This is a whole new season, whole new questions. Very exciting. In this series, we are interviewing some of our amazing student athletes here at Western Carolina University. Today, we have Isabella Sambola, again, of our women's tennis team. How are you, Isabella?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we'll jump right into this. Go ahead and please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do on the tennis team.
My name is Isabella. I play for the women's tennis team here at WCU. I do a lot for the team. I'm also the stringer, actually. I string all the rackets for the team. I am very loud. I'm very supportive, especially when we play matches. I scream for everyone. And I don't know, I would say I try to keep everyone upbeat. I try to be a very positive person for everyone, no matter what we're going through. So
It's important to have that positive force in the athletics,
yeah.
especially. If you don't mind, could you share a memorable moment from your athletics career at Western?
Probably freshman year. I was awarded freshman of the year. And that was a very huge award. I was so honored to get it. And then I received an award as well for newcomer of the year here, and I was very shocked. But I was very happy, and that was probably the most memorable career moments so far. And then honestly, just my team. I love them all so much. We make so many memorable moments every day. So every day is a memorable moment with them. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's something that we talked about before in the last interview, and also it's just so present in Western athletics is that family feel. So I did want to see if you wanted to expand on how that's helped you coming into this year, especially with the fall being maybe not as busy with tennis.
Yeah, it's definitely not as busy, and I feel like we try to take advantage of that as a team to have more team bonding. We actually just did whitewater rafting for Labor Day. It was really fun, great team bonding activity. It was a lot of fun. Always kept splashing each other when we were in the raft. It was really annoying, but I loved it. At the same time, the water was freezing. But I think we really take advantage of, really supporting each other and making sure we're taking care of our bodies. Like the fall, even though we're not in season, we want to make sure we're at 100% for spring. So we really try to make sure we're all good mentally, physically, and there for each other as a team. So
Yeah, and that kind of also leads into my next question, that besides the family feel in your team, what would you say keeps you motivated during those busy stretches of spring and also, again, the not so busy parts of fall?
I've always kind of had motivation. I've always loved the sport. So I've never really had moments where, of course, everyone has moments where it's hard and you need a little pick me up. And I think our team dynamic, it's very easy to have the energy. We have energy every morning. It could be 7 a.m. and we're either screaming, laughing, picking each other up, and then we have sprints and weights, and we just always seem to have an upbeat feel and very energetic. Our team chemistry is so great that there's never a dull moment. So there's always motivation in that at the same time. And then for me personally, I've always liked motivating people. So that also just motivates me when I know that everyone else is motivated. So
yeah, it's a really good answer. So we are going to be moving into the other part of the interview that is you as a student, because again, this is more than just you as the student athlete, it's you as the student. So what are you studying and what made you choose that major?
So I'm majoring in psychology, and I'm minoring in criminal justice. But the reason why I chose psychology, I've always been interested in the mind and behavioral disorders and all the stuff that I feel like plays a huge role in sports as well, with sports psychology even. So I've really always found an interest in it, and I wanted to study it from, I think, beginning of high school. I wanted to do it, and I haven't changed, and it'll stay the same forever until I'm here. So, but I want to work for the FBI as a psychologist, and I want to interview serial killers. So that's my interest in that. So.
Yeah, I remember the last interview, you saying that you were very interested in the minds of serial killers.
Yes.
Interesting. How do you manage your time between academics and athletics?
It's hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's definitely hard, but again, I'm kind of a broken record. But with the team, we are having that support and knowing that if I'm on a time crunch with a quiz and I just need someone like, you got this, you can do it, like, it's okay, like, it's about to be submitted, but it's okay. It's very stressful because sometimes with our schedules And if there's teachers that don't put in certain assignments on like Canvas, it's very hard for us to see. So we like that when it tells us we have an assignment due. But I feel like when we're always on top of each other, like, oh, can you remind me when this is due? Like, thank you. And they're like, oh, yeah, gotcha. Oh, don't forget, do this. Like, we're very proactive with each other, and that helps us so much get through whatever assignments we have, whatever majors we're doing and stuff. And we're all doing so different things. I think my other teammate, Jade, me and her, our major and minors are switched. So me and her are in classes sometimes, and that definitely helps. Like, we help each other out with that, with studying and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, having that close person in your class is definitely.
Yes.
What are some challenges beyond just that balance that you face as a student athlete, and how would you say you overcome those?
Honestly, from a religious aspect, I pray a lot. So honestly, that putting into it, taking the load off and just taking a moment and having your own space and really thinking about the bigger picture, that's how I try to overcome little small obstacles, because you're going to have them no matter what, with injuries, with personal life, even sometimes with the team, and we need to just talk and sit down. Like, you just sometimes need a moment to process everything that's going on. So it's kind of what I do to overcome it.
Perfect. So from a fan of Chats with Cats, Macy Burke, what is the hardest but most worth it part of being a student athlete?
The most worth it part, space on. I like the clothes. I really like the clothes. It's nice. I also like just having that built-in family when you come in. You kind of just get thrown into one, honestly, but you have built-in friends, if that makes sense. And it grows so much further, and then their friends have their friends, and I feel like you just are brought into a family so direct, and it just gets bigger from there. So that's what I definitely was worth it, being a student athlete, and always having the routines, and it really keeps you on a healthy path as well. I've always liked staying busy. I don't really like just sitting, and I think it has always made me do better and has made me a successful person being a student athlete, like being able to juggle everything around. The hardest part is, again, juggling everything around and trying to be a good student, a good athlete, both. It's so hard. It's hard to have two lives sometimes, and trying to balance it all out and putting it all together. But again, when you have so many people behind you and your coach and your family, it's like, that's what I felt like I was born to do. Like, I was born to be a student athlete, and I love it, every second of it. So
yeah, you gotta love it to
exactly, yeah,
with the juggling and all of that. Shout out again to Macy Burke and to the Chats with Cats Instagram. If you want your question to be featured, get in the comments, or you can respond to the stories on Instagram. But last question of the student portion: how has being a student athlete shaped your college experience?
I would say it's, again, kind of what I've said before. Like, it's given me so many memories I feel like I would still have even if I wasn't a student athlete, but there's separate, like, stuff that has gone and happened in my life with my team and my family. Even those simple calls to my mom telling, oh, this happened today at practice and this, like, there's little things that I probably wouldn't have had as memories if I wasn't a student athlete, and it's definitely shaped the person I am today in general. So
perfect. So moving on to the lightning round. So just short little answers to some short little questions. So what is your favorite class at WCU so far?
I like a lot of classes. I would say community corrections actually right now. It's a criminal justice class. It's with my favorite professor, and it's really interesting, and we do a case study, so it's really fun.
Who's that professor?
Regina Klein.
Shout out Regina Klein. So what do you have any pregame rituals or superstitions?
I have so many superstitions. I'm a very superstitious person. On court, I have to move the ball, like the scoreboard. I have to touch it. If they touch it, it bothers me. So yeah, I have to move the score every single game. Even if it's in a tiebreaker, I'll move it, especially in juniors. I did that. Now you can't do that, but I did that a lot. And then before, I have to have coffee before I play my match. I will not play well without coffee in my system. So.
Fair enough. What is your favorite sports team or athlete other than at WCU?
Um, JC Goldsmith. She played for Texas A&M, and that was the original school I actually wanted to go to. I was inspired by her, like her game, her. I even changed the way I held my forehand grip because of her. Like I studied her game, and I loved her double life, you could say, how she managed her friends, her balance. Like I studied her a lot and looked at her social media stuff to help me get ready for college, honestly, and how she balanced everything out. So
Perfect. And the last question of the lightning round, favorite post-game meal?
um I can't answer that. I love food in general. So anything edible, like genuinely.
Honestly,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Anything healthy and that will, give me energy and yeah.
There we go. And then the last question to kind of tie everything together, what is the best advice you've received as a student athlete, and what advice would you give to incoming student athletes?
Coming into freshman year, I think the best advice was going to class. That's a big one for me. Like if you just go to class and you do what you need to supposed to do, it helps you a lot. Especially as a student athlete, it's harder for us too because with those late night drive-ins, coming back from tournaments. But when you're there and the teacher sees that you're trying, they are very helpful and they see that you want to put in the effort. So going to class is a big one for me. And then talking, especially as a student athlete advice, communicating with your teammates and being there all the time and just being supportive no matter what you're going through or what they're going through. So those are like my two for me. And then what was the other one?
What advice would you give to incomer?
Honestly, just be yourself and be as positive as you can be no matter what life throws at you, because college is hard and you're going to go through so many obstacles. I went through so many obstacles I never thought I'd have to go through, but it made me as a person, like of who I am today, and I wouldn't change anything. And don't have any regrets with whatever you do. So that's the long advice, but yeah.
I think good advice for not just student athletes, just any incoming students, honestly. But thank you again for coming to the studio a second time, Isabella. Thank you all for watching Chats with Cats today. We'll see you next time, and go Cats.